I'm glad everybody's here. We've got a bunch of people already in the chat, which is kind of cool. So let's get into saying hello to everybody. Let's see who we've got here. We've got Marco, Henry G, Ground Fog, Angelo, channel member, Ramses Silent, channel member, Wyoming Adventures, channel member, Mick Ranger, Neil McKenzie, channel member, Joe Kasperick, Geek Machinist, channel member, Robin Dallum, channel member, Rolf Robertson, hello, my friend. Let's see who else we got. Book Dragon Jen, my wife. Hi. Let's see. Jim Miller, channel member. Barbie, EDC girl, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? So far, I don't think so. I think we got everybody, right? Robert Jones, channel member, hello there. And Robert, I sent you a reply on Instagram. So just so you know. Burnt Relic, hello there. Hola. All right, I think we'll call Grizzle Bear Leather Crafting. Hello there, and how's it going? All right. So, as you guys know, last week I had to miss the show. Salvo Zen, channel member, welcome in. Just so everybody knows what happened. Last week, I was, in plain English, exhausted. And what had happened was Saturday night, I didn't get to bed till like 4 in the morning. And then we got up at like 7:30. So like on 3.5 hours of sleep. And we got dressed. We had a drive. And we went down and did the 5K for breast cancer awareness. And even before we started the 5K, the 5K is a 3.5 mile venture right there. But we had to walk about a mile to get to the starting point, and then did the 5K. Then we walked back, and that kind of killed me because I had no sleep. But then we had to run errands, and by the time everything was said and done, I was just exhausted, and I couldn't stay awake. I was just fighting it, and I knew I couldn't do the show. So I do apologize for not being here last week, but it was for a greater good, We have some people around us who have breast cancer or have had breast cancer, and we wanted to get out there and support them. So it's kind of a big thing for us, So I didn't think anybody would mind once I told them, But that's why, and I'm still wearing the bracelet. It's going to stay on me because it's really important, But KR Knives Review, channel member, hello there and welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So with that was a Cicero member for 3 months. You are going to get a lightsaber salute. And thank you for being a channel member. Very nice. So, let's talk about some other cool things and some other things. You used to walk for breast cancer. Gotcha, Wyoming. Yeah, I mean, I've been growing up. My mom had breast cancer. Right now, my wife's best friend, who is basically my sister-in-law, one of my best friends, she's going through it. One of my coworkers just went through her second set of surgeries. She had breast cancer. It was gone. Came back years later. So I know a bunch of people. Neil McKenzie, hello there. So it's just important for us, So we had to do that, It was just we want to be there to support our friends, and it's a good thing. But now let's talk about some other stuff. So today I had the opportunity to talk to 2 police officers, local police officers. And whenever I get a chance to talk to police, I ask them about what they're carrying. Explain to them that I have a YouTube channel and, we talk knives. And First officer pulled out a Holtzman Gorilla, which kind of took me by surprise. And and he said, man, it's been a great knife. He's like, I found it on Amazon, and I've heard good things about the Holtzmans, but I've never actually had one. But I've heard like G-Ball talk about them and whatnot. So that kind of took me by surprise. The second one had much more of a cheapy knife. He had a Smith & Wesson, um, the generic Smith & Wesson with the seatbelt cutter. And I get it, for him, it's an assisted opening. He can deploy it quickly, and it's got the seatbelt cutter built in. But man, I felt like telling him, man, you got to get a better knife, man. You're on duty. That's an embarrassment. But no, it was kind of cool to see. I always ask police officers when I get a chance to talk to them what they're carrying. You know, we went to, a few weeks back, we went to the not it wasn't a county fair, but where they usually hold the county fair at this fairgrounds. They had Sussex County Day, and it was kind of like a smaller version of a county fair or whatever. But with that being said, they had all these different police officers from different units all around, all different townships from within the county there. And I was bothering all of them about what they were carrying. It's kind of cool to see what they're carrying. But and most of them are carrying decent knives, I would say. But yeah, I mean, Joe, I'm kind of a social butterfly, and I'm not, as long as they're not, coming off like jackasses, and they're just being normal people, they don't mind, honestly speaking. In fact, they're usually enthusiastic to show me what they have, you know. So that's kind of cool, I think. But it's just fun. That was a lot of fun. So this week I got some stuff in. Um, Actually, a lot of this stuff came the week prior, but I've got stuff in to show you guys that you haven't seen yet. And I think one of them you might have seen, but I'm not sure. But so I'm going to show it to you again. But the first thing I got in was a new sharpening system. I got the Work Sharp combo sharpener. And I got to tell you, for an inexpensive sharpener, these things are around like $55, $60 in that range. Maybe 65 in that range, but they're not expensive. This thing works dynamite. For the longest time, all I've done is touch up knives on my whatchamacallit with my Work Sharp field sharpeners and whatnot. But I wanted something that I could do a little bit deeper sharpening. And first thing I did was I took my wife's vintage knife. Was her grandmother's, and I sharpened this one. And let me show you the results. Let me just grab a piece of paper here. I'm running out of paper. Loosen this pad. Now, this was the first time using the sharpener, and I decided to use it on this knife. I've never been able to get a great edge on it, but look at that. That sharpener made this thing so slicey. I mean, I for the price, it is so easy to use. I mean, it's probably the simplest sharpener out there, and it works great. I was really happy with it. And then what I did was something a little bit more complicated that I'm not done yet. But you guys know I had that blem from TCAL where there was no edge on it, and Aries EDC, he wouldn't even touch it when I sent it to him so he could do the video. He wouldn't even try to put an edge on it because he was like, the grind is off, and it is, but because the tip of the knife is thicker than the back portion of the knife. But that doesn't bother me because if you're going to heavy duty use it, there have been a lot of knife makers over the years that have made thicker tips and come thinner in the back. So I decided to use this guy to put an edge on it. And it came out really good. It needs some fine tuning, but it worked really well. It just took a long time because, a blade a blank with no edge on it at all just took a lot of time. But the sharpener worked well. I kept moving the blade, didn't get any overheating, and it worked great. And then I was able, what I was doing is I got it to a point where it was sharp enough to cut paper, but I still wasn't getting a clean edge. So I got to touch it up. I'm probably going to have to work on it a little bit more, and then hone the edge, and then go with a strop, strop it and see where it goes from there. But so far, I like the results on that. So pretty cool. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Robert Willoughby, hello there. I don't know if I said hello or not, but I see you're here, so welcome in, welcome in. Am I missing anyone else? We got Cicero, Robert Willoughby. Rams is silent, channel member. I don't know if I said hello to you, but I hope I did. Hello there. Geek Machines, I get that. I get that. All right. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, everybody, if you're not subbed to everybody else, James McCann, hello there, my friend. Welcome in. Guys, feel free to drop your links. Definitely. Speaking of subs, I put the post out there today. We broke 2,300 subscribers. That means we did so far this year, in actually 364 days, we added 1,900 subscribers, which is amazing. That's all thanks to you guys. You guys have been supporting me, and I appreciate it so much. The channel's growing and growing and growing. And, I'm trying to put the work in. This week I got five shorts out. Last week I got 8 shorts out and 2 long videos. This week I didn't get any long form videos out. There was just some time restraints. But we'll have more videos out this week, especially since I have stuff I have to put out that companies had sent me some stuff, and I'm on a time crunch now, and I have to get that stuff out. Not that they're pressuring me or anything, but I just owe it to them to get it out in a timely fashion. So there's going to be some stuff this week that's coming out, But that'll be pretty cool. But I've been grinding at this. I've been really grinding at it. And, at the pace we're going, like, not last month dropped off a little bit, but like the month before we did 258 subs. The month before that, we had done like 349. Brown Sugar, hello, Sheila, channel member. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. So we'll definitely break. My goal this year was to get to 2,500 subs, and knock on wood, if nothing changes and we maintain the pace we're going, we'll hit that 2,500 subs by the end of the year. Thank you, Robert Jones. But I think if we get a big enough push, we might be able to get to, based on like I said, 349 a couple months ago. There's an outside chance of 3,000. I would love to get to 3,000 subscribers by the 1st. Like I said, I'm shooting for, my goal was 2,500. That was a realistic goal I set. And so far, so good. I mean, we should make it, But did I miss? Good night, Jen. She can hear me through the walls. So, But the Devils are on fire, Neil. And my Islanders are coming around, so we're good. Islanders 2 games in a row. They beat Washington Friday, beat Columbus today. The rookie is just lighting it up. The kid's awesome. But with that being said, who wants to play show and tell with some more stuff that came in? So this knife here, I don't know if I showed you this in the chat. My friend, knowing I'm a big Star Trek fan, I gave him this one. This is the Reich, or the Rake This is the P801 SF. Well, I gave him this and I said, hey, it's a blank slate. Engrave what you want on it. And he laser engraved the Star Trek scene on there. I don't know if I showed that to you guys. And then on the other side, and it's going to be upside down, it's going to be backwards for you guys, but he engraved Live Long and Prosper and then the Star Trek logo right there. So that came out awesome. Yeah, it really came out great. Like I said, I just gave him, I said, hey, it's a blank slate. Do what you want. I thought he was going to cook because we had talked about maybe putting dragon scales on it or snake scale, snake, like a snake pattern. And when he came back, this I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I absolutely love that. There you go, Neil. He's also the same one who it's my friend Jason, who I work with, who also engraved my, if I can find it, it's in this pocket here, engraved my Zippo with the Topo pattern. He did all the engraving on that. And unfortunately, on Friday, he gave his 2 weeks notice. He's taking another position with another company. So he was like, if you need to engrave anything over the next 2 weeks, just let me know. So I got some stuff I'm going to be bringing him to laser engrave, Not that he's going, I mean, we're friends, so we're not going to lose touch, but it's easier when he's at work and I can just hand him something in the office and say, here, take this home and do something with it, So 2 knives that came in from a Whatnot auction that I won for $4. And I don't know if I showed you these guys, but these came together as a bundle. And this is the 511 Tactical Alpha Folder. And what a cool knife. I had this knife before and I lost it. This is the only knife I think actually, I didn't lose it. I know where it is. But I had this knife and let's just say it's gone. But this is a cool knife. Really great feel, great design, right? 4-way clip, which is nice. You can move 4 different positions, right? Great jimping on top. Thumb hole deployable. Liner lock. Now it's FRN handles, but they are sculpted and they feel really good. And it's only an AUS-8 steel, but this is an older design. This knife's been around for like 8-9 years now. So, but like I said, thumb deployable, kind of cool. They do billboard everything. It says 511, always be ready on one side, and you got the 511 logo there. But this knife, like I said, it was in great shape. You could tell it's been used well, which is good because my old one was actually used really well. So that came along with the CRKT, the M16. And this is the M16 10KS. Another classic knife. 2 oldies but goodies. But I won these on a Whatnot auction for $4. Shipping was $4.95, so it cost me less than $9 for both these knives. And this knife has been around for years. This is another kind of legendary knife, And this one does has a serrated edge, but I don't mind that. I know some people really hate it. I don't mind it. It's a frame lock, It's only like a 7 CR steel, but it's got a flipper tab and thumb studs. The thumb studs are tricky because when it's closed, the thumb studs sit right in there. So you have to just get that right. Now, I've gotten good at it, but it took a little time because it doesn't, it pops out of there perfect, but it's just, they're in such a weird spot, But the thumb flipper works really well. It's got nice jimping on it. Just a great, cool little tactical knife. So those came in at a great deal. Now, I have been hanging out and Whatnot a lot, just because I think some of those channels are fun to watch, and I've won a bunch of giveaways. In fact, last night I won. Was it last night or the night before? I forget what night they were on. But Blade HQ, I won one of their giveaways. Don't know what they're actually sending because I missed it. What the giveaway was, and then there were two smaller sellers that I won knives from that'll be coming later this week. They labeled those mystery knives. Don't know what they are. It's going to be fun though. But yeah, so Whatnot's kind of a fun thing, and you can get some really good deals in there. But I noticed some people who just overpay for stuff. And then, like the other day, NAFS had a fantastic Whatnot. I have no money, so I couldn't buy anything. So we'll leave it at that. But they were selling off a lot of blems, a lot of prototypes, and just various stuff. And the money people were paying. Oh, it's right. It's a monkey fist. You're right. I did see that. Yeah, that wasn't a knife. That's a monkey's fist, right? Which I don't really need one of those because I have many of them from Kelly's Mismatch. But hell, why not? They'll throw some stickers and stuff in too, so it'll be cool. I'll probably use it as a giveaway. But yeah, that was kind of cool. But yeah, there were two of them that are sending mystery knives. Don't know what they are, but like I said, so I was in the NAFS Whatnot while I was driving home the other day, just watching, and man, they were selling some knives that were going for like ridiculous money over what they would retail for. But then there were other deals that were just fantastic. People were getting, you know, like Lander 3s for like $90. So you got to be careful with Whatnot, because you people just get crazy sometimes, especially like Civivi they did a show last week where they were selling prototypes and people were paying huge money for the prototypes. And that I get because those are like one-offs. You're not going to get, that's just not like a production knife. So that's kind of cool. I don't have any prototypes. I would like to get at some point a prototype knife in my collection. But we'll have to see because they usually go for more than, than they really should. But it's just a matter of having it in the collection, Let's see what else. Yeah, Ramses, it was a great deal on that. You're right. Yep, the 511, yep. Really, Neil, you like the M16 that much? I like it a lot too, now that I have it. So let's talk about Walmart. Hey, what? A Riggy jersey. Nice. Yes, they do. Yep. So let's talk about Ozark Trail and Walmart. So guys, the Christmas releases have come out, and something interesting about them. One, they have new designs, but they re-released some of the ones they had out last year. Like the $5 all white one is now called the Glacier. They all have names, which is kind of cool. But they have some new ones, and Wyvern Kodiak, hello there. But there's something interesting that I noticed. So let's look at this one first. I did a video on this earlier in the week, and 1,400 people watched the video. This is a cool looking knife. You've got that purple, and yes, that's purple. It's like a cranberry color. It's not red. In my video, it looked more red, but that's a cranberry color. Aluminum scales, right? Flipper tab. Really sounds nice. The steel is 3CR steel. Now, it doesn't list 3CR anywhere in the packaging, but if you go to Titanium Justin, member for 2 months. All right, hold on. We'll put that down. We got to salute Titanium Justin. Lightsaber salute, buddy. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate the support. So, getting back to the Ozark Trail, You've got these blue steel liners in there. Just a cool looking knife. Robin Dallum, member for 2 months, member of the Adventurers Guild. You get a lightsaber salute. Awesome. No, thank you, Robin, for being here. I appreciate it. So, a couple of things right off the bat. You've got your carry clip that they made reversible. Lefty and righty love on that. Like I said, 3CRV, not the greatest steel in the world, but it is a stainless. It's going to hold up well as far as corrosion resistance, but it's got terrible edge retention. But if you don't mind sharpening, for $7, it's a really nice knife. They did the nice blue around the pivot. It's a nice touch. But here's the thing. How are they selling these so cheap? How are they getting around the tariffs? Oh, take a look at this too. The liner comes down beyond the scale, so it makes it real easy to get with your thumb without any effort. But how are they getting around the huge Chinese tariffs? You know how? It's not made in China. It's made in the Philippines. All these newer drops that came out last week are made in the Philippines and not China. But this one is the Vertex. And I like this. This is a nice knife. It feels good. It's a full 4-finger grip, just over 3 inches. I think it's 3.1 on the blade, if I remember right from when I did the review. But kind of cool. Very cool. So now, this is another new one from them. Aluminum scales, more of a gentleman's knife. $7. Really nice. Black coated blade, probably just painted, especially at this price point. This one is a frame lock, which is kind of cool. Again, 4-finger grip and stud in the back for a lanyard. Reversible clip, which is nice. And again, $7. Made in the Philippines, not made in China. And again, they did a really good job. If you look, you have access to that frame lock. It just makes it so easy to get to with one hand. But kind of cool, nice little gentleman's knife. The silver aluminum on the one side, and then you have the steel frame on the other side. Usually I hate, and I'm going to show you another knife, I hate knives where it's colorway on this side and then just steel on the other side. I really hate that. Which is going to bring us to the next knife. And the next knife is not a Walmart knife. The next one is one that I ordered off of Comm. And this is a Fox Edge knife. And it's a nice knife. But nowhere on the listing on Comm's page did they show the backside of the knife. Backside, not finished the same. That drives me nuts. I hate that. This is only the second knife I have like this. I hate it. I wouldn't have bought it if I would have realized that. But there was no other photos of it. They were all show side views. So I don't know if that drives anybody else nuts. But Twisted Sis, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. But that drives me nuts. But overall, this is a really cool knife. Fox Knives, and I'm going to be honest, I forget the name of it, but it's the PE042. And you've got 1428 blade steel on there, if I remember right. Although something's telling me no, something's telling me it was 154. It's either one. It was a decent knife. These were coming in at, I think they were clearancing these out. These were like if you go everywhere, they're like $70. But this one through Comm was, I think, down to 39. And if you use the discount code, you saved another few bucks on it. Really nice knife. It feels good. It's only a 3-finger knife. Unfortunately, it's a small guy. No jimping. I wish it had jimping. I know Barbie and me are in the same school of jimping. I like effective jimping. I don't like, jimping that's there just for show, or in this case, no jimping. So I'm thinking about filing my own jimping into this, but it's kind of a cool knife. What they did here is they brought, I don't know if you can see it because it's really tight. They did just let's see, you can get to the frame lock really easy. They brought it down just enough so you can make this a one-hand operation. When I got this, though, it did have a little bit of lock stick, but just flicking it a few times actually caused that to go away. Bluminati Ninja, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in. But kind of a cool knife. Feels really good. I mean, it's got some really good ergos, but I think this would be suited for having a lanyard on it just to give you a little bit more control. But it's small enough that if you want to reach up, pinch grip it, you can. Kind of a cool EDC knife. This is my first Fox Knives knife, and the quality is really good. I got to say, I like it. I just wish the other side was, Yes, that's true, Geek Machines. They are all folders, but yes, and I agree. Was even thinking about having one of our good friends who does, anodizing, having them anodize that blue, even if it's something close, would kind of look cool. But that's a battle for another day because I don't have the money. So there's that. Now, 2 knives that came in is this one from Ramet. This is the Ramet Cool Whale. Those are G10 handles, even though they look like carbon fiber. They are awesome. You've got the only thing that lets you know it's a Ramet is their logo in the pivot. There's nothing on the blade. Look at that. Nothing on either side of the blade. Now, you've got I'm talking about great jimping right there. And you've got a nice finger trail there. So you could get 4 full fingers there. You can move up on it. Really, really nice. I'm totally digging this one. And this is one of the new budget knives from Ramet. Lately, for the last year or so, they've been doing nothing but high-end, expensive knives. Dragon LSK, hello there. Yeah, exactly, Dragoon. I mean, for people who hate billboarding, which I don't personally, but I know a lot of people do, this is the perfect knife. And the size is right. The blade geometry is fantastic. The handle's fantastic. No lefty love on this one. You cannot reverse the clip. But it is a deep carry. And the ergos, where they like scallop this out, it fits your hand perfectly. This is how a affordable knife should be done. Yes, it's very sterile. But this is how. Ill Knife, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. So yeah, this is just how a affordable knife should be done. And these come in, I think, if I remember right, $39. 39 or 20? Yeah, 39. This was 39. And the next affordable knife I'm going to show you was 29. But I like this a lot. It just feels so good. And it's D2 steel, obviously not, a higher end steel, but definitely worth it. And if you look at what the prices are going for, well, let's see. Let's see how close it looks to the beef, because I happen to have a beef sitting right here because I still haven't gotten around to swapping the scales out. Let's take a look. Similar, but the blade is different. The blade is different, you know, and handle's definitely a different shape. Size-wise, though, it's right there with the beef. It's a big boy. Beef is still one of my favorite knives, and now with all the upgrades that they've done on the beef, I think it's just fantastic. And they didn't raise the price at all. You can't beat that. But I still have sitting here the skiff bearings for this, the titanium scales, and the S90 blade to upgrade that. And then I'm going to take my other beef and I'm going to order the upgrade kit for that, because that's going to supply all the T8 hardware and the 14C28 end blade. And those are $15 for the upgrade kit. You can't beat that. Titanium killing it always. So let's look at the next knife that came in. And this one came in from Migaron. So this is their, is it the Valet? I forget the exact name for it. Hold on. Let me get the name. I've got it right here. Because I am a dummy. Oh no, the Vazat. This is the Vazat. That's right. So this is the Migaron Vazat. This is another affordable knife. It's a front flipper, or you could use the fuller. And let's see. Oh, I misfired on it. It's going to make me look really bad because, yeah, there you go. You could easily get with the fuller. You just got to get your thumb in there, but it has good access to it. It's a thin guy, but ergonomics on this, oh my God, they're great. The jimping is weird because it's back here. It is effective jimping, but it's not far up, because they do give you that sharpening choil, or to me, it's more of a sharpening choil. It's not really a finger choil. You can get a finger in there, but I think it's so close to the edge that it would be dangerous, which is why they put the jimping back there. But done so well. And D2 steel on that. And another one, no branding on the blade, no writing on the blade. There's no writing on the blade at all. And just the Migaron logo right there. You know, yes, the Vazat. Daniel Park, welcome in. Did not see you here. Matt Maurer, hello there. But just a great budget knife. Oh, sorry, affordable knife. I'm sorry, slipped. You guys know I don't use the B word. You've got that nice back spacer here. There is no lanyard love on this, and there's no lefty love. So if you're a lanyard person, you're out of luck on that. But I mean, they did it great too. Great access to the liner lock right there. And man, the front flipper, so easy to work. The action on this is just incredible. I like the clip. It's a deep carry clip. Unfortunately, like I said, no lefty love. That could have been down a little lower, but that'll clear your pocket very easily. So I think if you're looking for affordable knives that are definitely worth it, I think you couldn't go wrong with either one of these. When I do my top 10 video this year, now we'll have a full year in, I think these might be two of the best affordable releases of the year. You know, but now the next knife that we're going to show off is a really cheap knife that I paid $3 for yesterday at Walmart. It was in the clearance aisle, and it's a hyper tough utility knife. Lock back, thumb studs work nice, and it's a lock back, plastic handle, but solid lockup on it. You know, it's just a utility knife, and the thumb stud itself is actually the release. You press that down, and that's how you release the blade, which is kind of interesting. Really easy to put the blade back in, you know. Oh, those snarfs look cool, Robin, and that they're affordable. but kind of cool. $3 clearance at Walmart. It was in the clearance aisle. I'm always perusing the clearance aisle. The clip is just a plastic clip. Guaranteed that's going to break if you put it on your pocket. But for just if you need a cheap utility knife, there you go. $3. Hyper tough. You know, and the lockback works great. It's definitely a solid lock. So there you go. If you're looking for a really cheap, and this I will call budget, a really cheap utility knife, check out the clearance aisle at Walmart. That's where I found these. You know, what's next on the agenda? Okay, I'm going to show you the most ridiculous knife that I have found. You guys know I'm a Desert Warrior fan, and I found this guy. Got this one in a Whatnot auction. Ridiculously cheap. This is obviously a copy of the Concept Corvid. Look at that. This is by Buckshot. But this is cool, man. Look at that. This thing's just ridiculous. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, the blade shape is slightly different than the Corvid, so they didn't go 100% clone, but it's so close. I mean, and the size of this is just ridiculous. If you were... That would be EDC. Yes, yes. You guys know I love my Desert Warrior knives, and I've got a whole collection of them. I did a video earlier this year with them, and now this should be a part 2 because I've got a lot more of them. So, just cool, you know. And the thumb stud works really well. The flipper works well. It's a liner lock, you know. Deep carry. Right hand glove only, and it is a mighty 3CR V steel. So nothing great there. Let's see something, because it's okay. So this is the model PBK 253PK 3CR13 steel, USA design, made in China. More like Chinese design, made in China. Because this is a copy of the Corvid. Let's be honest. Again, I'm not going to say clone because it's not exactly the same. But man, is it close. But if you're into Desert Warrior knives, this is fun. Oh, nice. We'll have to check that one out. Actually, let me see something here. Go to channel. All right. I will have to check out your channel later, but I just bookmarked it, so that way I have it for later. But very cool. You would think, but these Chinese companies who are putting these out, like Buckshot and whatnot, they're pumping out the Desert Warrior look, and every time they get shut down, they just release a new one. So, you know, that's the problem with all, even TCal. I was in their chat on Sunday, and I asked Tim Keller, I was like, hey, what are you guys doing to fight the counterfeit TCals that are on, out there? And he was like, nothing. He's like, there's really nothing we could do. He goes, just hope that people realize the quality isn't there, that they're just bad copies, because it's really hard to fight a company based out of China. You're not going to be able to do it, really. Pre-orders could be frustrating. I've got some stuff on pre-order, and it just seems to be taking forever But which will bring us to something else. We see this is good. Everything's flowing. You guys in the conversation just seem to be reading where my mind is at. So let's talk about another knife that came in. And this one is, and I did a video on this today, and it's gotten a good reaction so far. This is the Buck Vantage Force. Oh, there we go. This is a made in USA knife. It is a, oh, I keep forgetting. It's 13C26, Sandvik C1326 blade steel. So it's a decent blade steel, made in USA, glass reinforced nylon, right? Really nice blade shape. Two ways to deploy it. You've got the flipper and you've got the thumb opening. Really nice jimping on top. Barbie, you would appreciate this jimping. Full 4-finger grip. Deep carry clip that is reversible. And what's nice, there's no screw holes on this side for reversing because it's at the bottom. It is on washers. Yep, it's on washers. You know, this one is a re-release. They are only producing, according to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, there's less than 100 of this particular one made. Yeah, there we go. It's really new. It needs to be broken in. So sometimes it'll fail on me, but that's just because it's new. This will break in. But take a look. I want to show you something. Another one where they did great access to the liner lock. I mean, look at that. You can see it right there. Just a great knife. If you're looking for a USA made knife, these come in at the $69 price point right now. These were selling for like $129, but the prices dropped on them. Decent steel, great blade geometry on that. USA made, feels good in the hand. You could reverse it, you know, definitely worth it if you're looking for a USA made knife. My carry today was USA made carry. I carried this. We'll get that out. The 3 knives that I was carrying today were, that's not the knife. This is the knife. That's my wallet. All right. So the 3 knives I carried today were all USA made. So I carried the Buck. I carried the Case Mini Trapper, which is just a really nice knife. I like it. I hate to say it though, RoseCraft and Jack Wolf quality beats the hell out of Case. Sorry, Case, it's just the way it is. And then I carried my Aries EDC Cardinal XL, the one we were talking about on his show earlier. But I carried those. Tay was a USA carry. You know. Why am I? There we go. But love all 3 of these. Really kind of cool. You know. And now we'll come to, let's get just back to this real quick. Just a nice knife. Yes, definitely check out Barbie's channel. She's getting close to 1,500 subs. And from what Barbie said, you've got some good giveaways coming when you get to 1,500. So check her out. But yeah, see, this is really, needs to be just worked in a little bit. It's almost there. But kind of cool knife. Now, the last knife we're going to show off today is this guy. And I don't know if I got this before I went live the last time or not. This is the NAF's Little Lulu. This is the one that's made in-house by them in Utah. It is a little guy. This is very comparable to the TRM Tagalong. And in fact, when I did the video, the unboxing video on this, I compared it to the Tagalong. I think they're both really nice. Similar in size, both Magna Cut. Great feel on this. I can actually get 4 fingers on that with if you include the choke up spot. Now, if you notice though, the choil is integrated into the handle, which is why it just feels great. Now, the one thing it lacks, and I guess because it's such a small knife, there's no jimping. That's the only commentary. I wish there was some jimping on it. But if you're looking for a tiny little EDC knife that is pocketable, and they shipped it with a clip that I just couldn't stand, so I instantly put the Tech Lock on. I mean the Ulti clip on there to pocket drop this, which makes it perfect. And then I added the lanyard, and just perfect. Magnet cut steel, so you're gonna abuse the hell out of this, even though it's a. If you look at it though, it's a solid thickness up behind the edge. So this is going to be able to take a little bit of hard use, man. And unfortunately, the price on these is not going to be inexpensive. These are coming in at $229. I didn't pay that because I was one of the very first Kickstarter backers on this. So the first wave of Kickstarters got the early backer discount, but I love this. And the fact that it's made totally in-house in Utah is fantastic. They sent out the first wave of 250. I was like number 8 or something, or no, I think I was number 10 backer on this. The sheath is great. When it came out, it was really tight. In fact, I couldn't pull it out. I had to like force it out, right? But it wore in, just putting it in and out of the sheath. And now it's really easy to get in and out. They did have a video for the backers because some of these were so tight that people couldn't get them out. So they showed you how to expand that a little bit, which I didn't have to do. All I did was just work it, and really easy. And what's nice is with the way that's set up there, you can just pop it off with your thumb. So again, the Naf's a little Lulu. Magnet cut, it's sharp as anything. I know a lot of people, that video has been getting a good response. So yeah, Rolf, it's a really cool knife. Now they have to ship out the second batch of Kickstarter knives, and then they're going to go on sale. So look for them to go on sale to the public at the end of November, is from what Ben was saying. So, now it's not cheap. I think that you can order right now. You can order the TRM tag along, and they're going to ship out soon for $179. I think, honestly speaking, as much as I love Nafs, the sheath is better on the tag along. Like I was saying it in Aries, I think the tag along sheath may be the best sheath out there, bar none. It's done so well. It's the leather. You get a choice with them. You get a choice of either a pancake style leather sheath or a taco sheath. I think the taco sheath is just amazing with the way they made it, and it comes with the Ulti clip. It's sculpted to the knife. The knife just locks in there, even though it's leather, and it's just perfect. Yes, yeah. This would have been better as a taco sheath, but I get why they did it. It's easier to produce a pancake sheath, so it takes less work. And plus, what they did was they set up these jigs so that way they pre-cut them. They basically, it all slaps together. If you watch any of the videos on how they do it, but yeah, it's great. But I think this and the tag along make such perfect little EDC fixed blades. I think the tag along is my first choice, but I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. Both magnet cut, both so similar in size. I just like the sheath better. Now, eventually, I'm sure there'll be a leather sheath option for this, just like we have on the Lander. the Lander 4. So the Lander 4, this guy, which is by far my number one carried EDC fixed blade, that comes with this sheath, which I don't care what people say, I prefer a tech lock. It just goes much easier on my belt. Pop it in, boom, it's locked. It doesn't slide, it doesn't move. It stays in one position. Here's the problem I have with Scout carry straps. See that? See what's happening there? No matter how tight I ramp that down, it wants to pull because the handle sits there. So when it's on my belt, it's constantly doing this. So I either have to add a secondary Scout strap right there, or I'm going to throw a tech lock on, because this will not move. Once it's locked on my belt, it's staying right where it is. I know where it is. But here's the thing. Yeah, no, I prefer, Kelly, I got what you're saying there, but I did that on, I put 2 straps on my other Aries knife. And you know what? It's great. Now it doesn't do this, but it still slides because there's so much room there. It still slides back and forth on my belt. You know, where this locks in place. I never have to worry about that. But for the most part, I'm not even using this anymore. I'm pocket dropping it because I had gotten the optional leather sheath. And this is great. Pops right in there. It's molded perfect. Has your clip. And this is a tight clip. So yeah, I guess I could shorten the straps, but I don't know. It's just, plus, plus these are a bitch to get on and off. Like when it's behind my belt, when I'm trying to do it blind and to get them to snap in correctly, I will, and I know I'm alone on this, but I will take, and this is why they make them all. That's why they make different options. I will take this tech lock any day of the week that ends in Y over a Scout strap. Just, you know, and everybody's mileage differences, you know. But like I said, I've carried with Scout straps. They're just, to me, not as good as a tech lock or even an ulti clip. For instance, my Azula, I put the new ulti clip on there. What's great about this, doesn't matter how wide your holes are, this adapts to it. This thing is rock solid on the belt. And that doesn't take up any room. In fact, I may wind up going this route with most of them because these things are like 13 bucks. And once this is on your belt, it's not moving because it is tight. It's tight. I don't know if you can see. It actually comes past. So when your belt's in there, it pulls it out and this locks in place. So, Donnie Bless, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm just going off on my rant about how I hate Scout carry straps and would rather have a tech lock. And now these new ulti clips. So, but there's that. But how that all came about was because I'm hoping for the new NAS Little Lulu that they come out with the leather sheath like this one. If not, we'll be sending it off to 3 Feathers to have one made, you know. But I don't know what that costs. I know it's probably expensive because he custom makes those, you know, where these aren't cheap either. I mean, these are like 70 bucks, but they work so well. But that's what I have as far as knives that kind of came in. And then the last thing I showed you guys a couple weeks ago that I had gotten the Wuben, the X4. And at first, I'm going to be honest, I hated it. I hated it, but now I absolutely love it. The problem was it's not intuitive, you know? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I should figure out what the pricing would be, through any of those guys, but right now it's not in the cards, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So this wasn't very intuitive until I started playing with it, and then after a while it became really intuitive. So now I've got the two of them. I've got the white one, which I backed on Kickstarter, and then the black one that they sent me to review. So now that I know how to use this, it's going to be, the review is actually going to be much different than when I first started. But I will say it wasn't intuitive to start. But once you figure it out, really intuitive. And then there's nice looking flashlights too. A lot of versatility. A lot of versatility. But they're a little weighty. They're much weightier than, say, like my Arcfeld Pro or Ultra, I should say. A little bit more weighty, but I like them. So that's really everything that came in. So you kind of saw what I was carrying today, and I was carrying my Zippo, my wallet. Let's see what else is in the pockets. Right, my Right in the Rain Monsoon wallet with the Right in the Rain pen, as always. I did not carry a Leatherman today. That would have completed the All USA, but I did carry the SOG Power Pint. And then I did, well, yeah, I had another knife that wasn't American. My Swiss Army knife, my little guy, that's always there. And the Gear Infusion ratchet pry bar. And then for a flashlight, I was carrying the Through Night Saber. This is such a great flashlight. It's just, basic controls, high, low, off. That's really it. It's all you need, really. Like I said, these have a lot of versatility, but just for basic task, that's not bad at all. And these are so inexpensive, and they hold up really well. But I've got new flashlights on the way from Sofern and from Workos. They have new releases that are going to be released at the end of November. I should be getting those flashlights from them this week. And interesting. When I got the email from Workos, I've collaborated with them before, and they said, "Do you want to collaborate again?" I was like, "Absolutely." Within 5 minutes, I got another email from Sofern, and it looked like the same email, just listing a different product, obviously. And I'm like, these emails look exactly the same. So then I responded, and the reply email I got from both of them looked exactly the same format, the same links to their social media, the whole thing. And I was like, are they the same company? So we went down a deep dive looking, and it turns out they're not the same company, but they share the same manufacturing facility. So Sofern and Workos are being built in the same plant, which I just kind of found interesting. I have not actually had a Sofern flashlight yet, so I'm looking forward to that. And the two flashlights that they're sending are really kind of innovative. At least, as much as you can innovate a flashlight. But at this point, between Olight and, and Wuben and all these companies, it's just, there's just so many new flashlights coming out, and they all have a different twist. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Paul Mills, hello there. Hello, hello, hello. So we're over an hour so far, which is kind of cool. We're doing pretty good. I'm feeling good. Hope you guys are all enjoying it. How many people we got? We got 46 people here at 11 o'clock at night here in the East Coast. And, I appreciate that. We have 32 likes. Come on, guys. Smash that like button. You may not believe it, but it really does help with the algorithm and help push the channel. So on the Edge EDC, hello there, channel member, welcome in, welcome in. Now, next week we're going to have the 2 giveaways next week. We're going to celebrate 2,300 subs. So there'll be that as a thank you. And then it's also going to be the overdue October members giveaway. So those are coming next week. Nightcore makes good stuff. Absolutely, James. I have a couple of their lights, obviously, you know, but this is through night. But I have Nightcore here as well. You know, good stuff. I mean, there's a lot. You know, so you miss Quiznos. You know, Quiznos was good, but they were so overpriced, which is what killed them. I mean, they killed themselves just by their pricing, even though they had a good product. You know, but that's a different story. Yeah, Ramses, that's good to know because, like I said, this will be my first experience with Sofern. You know, I've collaborated with Wuben. I've collaborated with Workos. You know, so that's kind of cool stuff right there. So it's nice. You know. Now I want to talk about the giveaways from the last 2 giveaways. I apologize; those have not been shipped out. I hit a little bit of a financial wall. I had some unexpected bills come up, really unexpected bills that kind of wiped out a little bit of my money that I had ahead for getting stuff out. So I just want to apologize for that because I know some of you guys have been asking me, and I've been honest about. I've sent you messages back just to let you know, and I want to be open and honest about it. I hit a wall as far as being able to ship stuff out. I've got like 10 packages here I have to send out. They are all going to go out on Saturday. But I did want to let you know. That's why, like I said, it just I had a huge major expense that came out of nowhere. That just like I said, it just came out of nowhere. I had to take care of some stuff, but we're good. We're back to on, you know. No, shipping is not cheap. And it seems to be like getting more expensive by the day. I don't know. I have to check out Pirate Ship because everybody's telling me how great it is, but I just haven't checked it out, and I think I'm going to try it. Not for this one because I want to get these out Saturday. I want to get down to my post office, take care of that. I've already got everything ready, boxed up and ready to go. So, you know. Oh yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know how giant families do it nowadays with how expensive everything has gotten. You know, um, like me and my wife. I mean, we don't have kids, so it's just the 2 of us. And we were like, "Hey, do you think we can get by with just buying like $100 worth of groceries?" I said, "Yeah, I think we could do it." No, we walked out. It was like almost $200, and we didn't get all that much. You know, and if that's like shopping the store brands and everything else. So it's like everything's so much money. You know, don't you know? Not that it's not a political thing. It's just it's reality. Things are expensive now. You know, but you know we got things going pretty good, so we'll get that stuff out. But I do want to let you guys know kind of where we sit with that. Um, you know, but yeah. So there's that. All right, so now you guys know what I carried. You know what's kind of going on. So next show, there will be, like I said, the members giveaway. Would have done it tonight, but I really want to get the stuff mailed out before I do the next giveaway. I just don't feel it's fair to do another giveaway until I get that stuff sent out. So just be patient with me. Love you guys. You know, but I did want to just kind of give you a heads up as to what's going on with that. So like I said, next week we'll have the celebration for 2,300 subscribers, and we'll do the overdue members giveaway. That should have been done. Actually, that would have been done last week. But like I said, I didn't do the show last week, and I apologize for that. But I appreciate all you guys understanding and hanging with me and supporting. You guys are great. Love this community. So Now, I know some of the people who had gifted memberships, those are expiring. So if you'd like to renew, that would be cool. Um, that would be greatly appreciated, you know. But like I said, that's all up to you guys. Remember to for the members giveaway next week, you will have to be a member. But you know, good night, Barbie. Remember, everybody, if you're not already subscribed to Barbie, go and subscribe to her channel. She's getting close to 1,500. So let's try and get her there. You know, she's putting in the work. Definitely deserves it. Fred the Lug, hello there. Welcome in. Welcome in. Glad to see you, my friend. Robin, that's like what happened with the prize pack I got from Aries. I mean from G Ball. Half the package it was cut open and taped back shut, and half the knives that were supposed to be in there weren't there. So, and there's really nothing we could do because as me being the recipient, I can't file the claim. G Ball has to file the claim, and he said he'd look into it, but I don't think he did. And really, there's nothing he can do because he could put in the claim. If anything, he's going to get back the insurance on it, but it's still not going to recoup the knives, you know? And that's what sucked on that one. But I was still grateful because you know what? I still got half the knives that were in that giveaway, and that's still found knives, so to speak. So I'm always grateful for when I win, you know, a giveaway or something like that. You know, always appreciative. Yeah, definitely, especially if you put it on like an Amex. Jay Corsgadden, channel member, welcome in, welcome in. So I don't. All right, I don't remember now because it's been like 3 months. I'd have to go back and watch G Ball's video again to see which ones didn't show up. The ones that showed up was a Real Steel and a Rough Rider, but there was supposed to be two other knives in that giveaway. So I got two out of the four, and I got the swag pack, but you could see on the package it was cut open and somebody put tape back over it. And that happened. I know G Ball didn't send it that way. I mean, he would have no reason to. G Ball is a stand up guy. So I know that happened at somewhere when it was in the Postal Service hands to when it got to me. I mean, knock on wood, I'm in an area where we've never had packages stolen. And truth be known, I don't ever lock my car doors. It's pretty safe over here. Um, but so I know it didn't happen here, but it happened somewhere in the possession of the U.S. Postal Service. You know, G-Ball takes a long time. Just ask Geek Machinist. You know, he just got his from I think what 2 months ago, right? Elijah, it was like 2 months you had to wait for those knives to come from G-Ball. So G-Ball's not very quick at shipping stuff out. Now, when you win a prize from Aries EDC, he ships them out like next day. You know, and I'm not one to talk like you guys know. I'm delayed right now. So have a great night, Trish. Appreciate you being here. You guys are awesome. Appreciate what you and Blue do for the community. As always, you guys are great. But all right, so we need to get to what everybody's carrying today because we didn't get to that yet. So let's hit me with what everybody's carrying. By the way, I got to do something here. I don't know how to do it on here. I know I'm going to screw this up. Can I? No, that's not right. I don't have to keep reading it off here. All right. No, Ramses, he'll come. G-Ball come through. 80-20 Orlock, both freshly skiffed, and your bug out. Nice carry. QSP Penguin, button lock with S35VN for KR Knives review. Yeah, Jay, I'm not sure exactly. Like I said, I know the other problem is that was the one he did with EDC for DVD, and when G-Ball was saying what knives they were, DVD really literally spoke over him, and I couldn't make out what the second set of knives was, but it's all good. I'm not too worried. Wyoming Ventures has the Fenrir concept and the Tenable, both in Damascus. Okay, nice. Ramsey Silent, the Leatherman Arc, the SOG Power Pint, the Olight Mini 2, the Olight Pen, the Rovi Von Aurora 4, the Civivi Sentinel Strike, the CRKT Obake Fixed, the Nafsalander 2, the Outdoor Element Neck Knife, and his Zippo with the bit kit. Nice. Wyvern Kodiak, carrying the Oz Machine Rosie XL, the Devo Tallboy, both in purple fat carbon, the Roxxon Multi-Tool, and the Glow Rhino Pry Bar. Very nice. The Strix for Robin Dallum, nice. Kelly's Mishmash with the T-Kel Piranha, the Sugar Maple Jack Purple Crystallized TI, and the Tactile Turn Rockwell Midnight Fade. Very nice. Good night, Robert Willoughby. Appreciate it. Ed Gordon, welcome in. And if you were here and I missed you, I'm sorry. But he's got the Yellow Spyderco Native, liking the MagnaCut steel. I love MagnaCut. And he's got the Lynch clip on it. Very nice. Ill Knife, the six leaf SL18 with CPM 20 CV and a titanium frame lock. That's very nice. 6 leaf, do I have 6 leaf? No, I don't have 6 leaf. I've seen their stuff and it looks really good. Let's see. Kevin Smith. What a heli? Okay. Gabe Harlan, your main carry today was the BC headache powder. Oh no, that's terrible. I dealt with a headache the other day that was just miserable. Bust Knives. Oh, you're saying hello. Kevin Smith and Knives. Okay. What do we got? Who else we got? Sorry, I missed you. Hey. Fred the Lug. Today you were carrying the RD Blade Shadow. It's a custom knife that was delivered to me while I was on vacation at my location. That's awesome. Let's see. Robert Jones, the Strider SNG Hybrid and the Ohio River Jack. Very nice. I don't have a Strider either. I need to get one of them in my collection at some point. But again, money. I'd like to have one of every company's knife in my collection at some point. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. Not unless I hit the lottery at some point. But all right. We're at 46 people and 46 likes. Thank you so much. That really means a lot because it does help. Let's see. Am I missing me? Oh, Kevin Smith Knives carried the Incozy and the ABW slip joint. Nice. Nice. Some people like the what you would call it, the Incozy better than the Sebenza. What do you think, Kevin Smith? You think it's a better knife? You think it's better than the Sebenza? Because I hear a lot of people say that. But just curious. Gas-powered leaf blower. Yep, no, I got that. Matt, that's when you need a bright orange knife. If you drop it, you'll be able to see it right away. Mick Ranger, the AD15, the Leatherman Wave Plus, and the Olight Baton 4. Nice. Okay. CRK overrated. I've heard that. But then again, I get people like Bees who swears by that Sebenza he has. He absolutely loves it. You know, I don't know. Neil McKenzie carrying the small off-grid enforcer, nice. The Gerber US1, the tiny SOG on a keychain, and the Fulmov mini light. I don't know that one. On the edge EDC. Okay, you ordered the Tri-Stash V2 dark mode on Blade Binge last night, but in hindsight, you paid too much. Yep. But you know what? That's gonna be a very collectible knife that you probably will be able to sell and get everything back if you ever choose to. You know. And you also can. Plus, you ordered a Kaiser Top Sale S45VN in titanium Damascus and matte DLC Ultra. No, I mean, yeah, you probably paid a lot. Definitely. I mean, I know you paid a lot, but I think actually both knives will hold their value. You know, that's something you have to consider too. Like if you're collecting and not just using, will it hold its value? That's the big key. But definitely. Let's see. On the Edge EDC, I know what that's like. 100%. I do a lot of knife window shopping. Like I'll go in and just peruse a website and then just put stuff in my wish list. And then I never come back to that wish list and buy it because I always something else new or different always catches my eye. You know, I don't know. It just happens. Like if I don't buy a knife when I immediately see it, chances are I'm not going to get it because I'm going to put it in a wish list and it's going to sit there just to rot. Or until they send me an email saying, hey, we've clearanced this knife that's in your wish list and it's now half price. Then I might wind up buying them. But I put a lot of knives in wish lists on all the different websites. Like if I log into Knife Center, I've got a wish list there. If I log into Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I've got a wish list there, you know? Yeah, on the Edge EDC, I am right there with you. In fact, my wife said today, she goes, can you start selling some of these? Because they're everywhere. Like, no exaggeration. Like, I sit on the right side of the couch. You know, our couch is in 3 sections. In the middle section next to me at this current time, there's probably about 18 knives sitting there that I just pick up and flick while I'm watching TV, watching live streams. And they sit there, and my wife's like, if guests come over, there's nowhere for them to sit because you have knives all over the couch. I have knives on our kitchen table. I have knives on my kitchen counter. In front of me on this table, there's probably 20 or so knives. On the couch to my left, which I've showed you guys on camera before, is probably about 50 knives right now. And then to my right, there's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 more knives that are just sitting there. And then that's not even what's in my my 7 knife cases that are over there. So yes, I have a knife problem too, you know. It's more fun and cheaper. Oh, 100%, Robin. That's why I've been hanging out in Whatnot, because those Whatnot auctions, sometimes you can get some really good stuff inexpensively. Excuse me. Fred Deluxe. CRK makes a solid knife, but it's not. It's basically production. And you're paying for mid-tech to custom prices. If you have one, you'll like it, but overpaid. Yeah, okay, I get that. You know, yeah, sort of like Gibson guitars. Decent guitars, but way overpriced to what they are. And there are companies that make guitars at much less price points that are way better than Gibson. And yet I think I'm down to 4 Gibsons at this point, you know, in Apache cases. Yeah, I need to order more cases. That's my problem. I don't have enough cases. But also, too, I just like having knives around, you know. And I still haven't figured out a way to store my fixed blade knives. You know, folders go nice into cases. These do not. These don't go nice. They don't play nice with knife cases. So I kind of, that's mainly on the couch right there, is fixed blades that are all sitting there because I don't want to just throw them in a box where they get all scratched on each other. So they're laid out on my couch right now, just kind of sitting there, you know. But Roger Baker, you carried the Sencut Glide Strike. That's a very underrated knife. QSP Penguin Glide Lock, the Olight O-Clip Pro, and the Wii Pry Bar. Very nice. Very nice. Wait, Mick, which was the one you lost your oh, the Kaiser Titanium October. Oh, that sucks. Ryan Ellis, hello there. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you here. Let's see what else. The Caval cases. Let's see. Yeah, see, the problem with I get that, Matt. Definitely could do that, but then I can't see what's there. You know, like to get to stuff that's underneath, I'm gonna have to move stuff. There's got to be a better way to store fixed blades. Mm. Okay, that's it. The Trek Pack dividers. That's something to consider. I would probably not use Pelicans. I'd probably use the Apache cases from Harbor Freight because they're a lot less money, but they work pretty well. I have them for a lot of other stuff. Todd Carr's here. Did I miss Todd Carr? Oh, there you are, Todd. Hello there. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Channel member. Appreciate you being here. But that is a good idea. I might have to do that. You know. But of course, that takes some cash. And we have Christmas coming too, so that's the other thing. I think like there are a couple of things that I'm going to be getting, but I think right now I'm going to slow down for now. Also, too, in November is the New York Custom Knife Show. I'm going to be going to that, and I want to have money put away for that. So yeah, I think I'm going to be holding off. I may even decide to do a whatnot auction myself and sell some stuff. You know. Yeah, Fred, I didn't really collect fixies either until G-Ball. Yeah, Fred, they moved. It's early this year. It's early February, but they moved it up, and I'm definitely going because I got sick the last one and couldn't go, but I'm definitely going. I will. It's kind of a pilgrimage. I have to get there now, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. But like I said, I want to have some money put away for that. What else we got going on? I have 4 birthdays in the next 45 days. Yeah, oh boy. Yep, no knives for you. I got that. 100%. You know. What is a corrosion buffer? Or did I miss it? Oh, that would be cool. Definitely Wyvern Kodiak. That I hear that's a great show. I haven't been yet. The one I've attended mostly in the last year is the Lehigh Valley Knife Show. They do that twice a year, and that's a fun one. You know, a lot of great custom makers there as well. Less of the manufacturers, more custom makers though. Explain the toolbox generally when not in use. Yeah, you know, I have in my storage bin. I've got one of those really nice old school um, wooden toolboxes that's made to look like something out of the 40s. It's still in the box and unopened. I might want to bring that in here somewhere after I redo this room and put that in here because that's really a beautiful case. And I think that would work well. Hmm. Yeah, we have to actually plan to meet up at the Lehigh Valley Knife Show, you know. But Metal Relic, hello there. Welcome in, welcome in. I level on up. Hello. Oh, that's fine. I appreciate you being here. Really appreciate it. So, what are we at? Oh, 11:34. Oh, for those who always ask, the other thing in my carry that I didn't show is this watch. It looks like a Casio, but it's not. It's a total Casio ripoff. It's actually, this was part of when I did my video, the $30 EDC, Walmart EDC challenge. This is a George watch, but it's basically a Casio. So I don't know who makes it for them, but everything about this reeks Casio. I know it's not a Casio, but man, you would be hard pressed to tell me this wasn't a Casio, you know. But yeah, it's this is a fantastic watch. I like the colorway on it, and like I said, it was $10 when I did my $30 um, Walmart EDC challenge. You know, I got watch, multi tool, flashlight, knife, and pen, all for under $30. That was a lot of fun, that video, and that got a lot of views. So if you haven't checked that one out, definitely check that out. Reusable dehumidifier bags. Yeah, I've been using on my D2 blades the Flissa um, steel protectant, and that seems to work pretty well. In fact, let me go grab that. Hang tight, hang tight. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry. So this is what I use lately. This is the Flitz polish. Corrosion protection. This stuff works great. I used to use this years ago on all my camping knives, and I forgot about it. I was talking to JB, Big Red EDC, and he had reminded me about this stuff. This stuff works great, you know. Oh, Alex Kerber, no worries. Welcome in, buddy. Oh, that's a good idea, Geek Machinist. Very good idea. That's actually a really good idea. I'm gonna have to try that. But like I said, The Flitz works really well. You know, like I said, I used to use it all the time on my Swiss Army knives and whatnot over the years, and just some of my camping knives and that sort of thing. And it's always worked really well. And then I forgot about it for a very long time. Like I said, JB, Big Red EDC, had reminded me about it when we were talking. 100%, everybody. Head over to Metal Relic, subscribe to his channel, watch a short real quick, or comment on one of his shorts so it holds the sub. But definitely check out his channel, you know. And Metal Relic, where are you in my chat? Let's see if I can. Metal Relic, if you're here, still here, leave a comment, you know, in the chat, because then what I'll do is I will make you a mod so you can share your channel. But yeah, Geek Machines, 100%. I get that. Oops. Let me. All right, now you can share your channel. Gotcha. So what other thing? I never find foots around me. Gabe, just grab it off of Amazon. That's probably the best way to just grab it off of Amazon, have it shipped. If you can't find it locally, you know, I think that's how. I don't think I found it locally either. I think I had to order it because nobody up here had it. I had one hardware store that actually a friend of mine owns the hardware store, and they were willing to order it in for me. But I was like, I'm not going to make them just order it, you know, just so I could have it, you know. I hear Metal Relic that you make some beautiful metal roses. I'll have to check those out. Yes, because I'm shooting with my cell phone and I have it on the selfie mode. So that's actually turned backwards in the sign, and that I printed backwards so it can be read. But everything else in here is kind of trippy. I really need to just get a dedicated camera, you know. But it's kind of cool. Like you said, it is trippy because like if you look at where it says Marshall on my amp, it's totally backwards. The reason why I'm wearing a shirt with the bat signal and this hat is because it's the same forward and backwards. I actually do that on purpose. Like I pick shirts that way, you know. But I really either that or I should just whatchamacallit, flip the camera around and use a remote to start the stream, you know. But you're not the first one to notice it, Ryan. Not the first one at all. But it's all cool. And folks, don't forget, if you want to be part of the shenanigans, you could be part of the crew. And we've got some members only videos coming out this week too that are going to be kind of cool. So if you do want to become a channel member, feel free. It's there. You don't have to, but if you want to, the option is there. You know, anything we make off of this channel just gets put back into the channel, by the way. So just so everybody knows. So for those people who are into guitar, I follow a podcast called 60 Cycle Hum. Ryan does hundreds and hundreds of guitar-oriented videos, and just headline across the pop. Got a message across. I guess they're dropping a new podcast tonight. Do headstocks matter? To me, they do. I'm a huge fan of certain headstocks, and certain headstocks just look ugly as crap. It's why, even though I have Gibson Les Pauls, and then I have Epiphone Les Pauls, I will always favor the Gibson because the Epiphone headstock looks like total and utter crap. So going to Albany's a fun town. I've been there many times. Used to go up there for training sessions for work. One of the companies we deal with is up there. But when it comes to Fender guitars, I like all the headstocks, but I prefer the big style 70s headstock to the smaller headstocks. I think they just have more character. But yeah, headstocks to me make a big difference on guitars. I know, Neil. We should do that, because then if I do that and I'm on somebody else's time, I don't feel guilty because I'm not talking EDC. So that might be an option. Like, I wanted to go on at other times during the week. I go on this time because this is when nobody else is really on. So I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, because I'm still, I've been in the EDC game doing these, EDC videos for a year now and being part of the community for actually just over a year now. And I've never wanted to step on anybody's toes because I'm still relatively the new guy, So I kind of respect that. No. Fred, for the longest time, I had a Fender. I'm sorry, not a Fender. I had a Kramer Striker that was in the trunk of my car, because every once in a while I would just pull up to a friend's house like, oh, you want to jam? And I'd always have a guitar. It was a cheapy guitar. It sat in the guitar, and it sat there in my trunk of my car and lived there for about 5 years. Wherever I traveled, I had a little travel amp and I had a guitar, But I'm not that much into it as much as I used to be, as far as that sort of thing, jamming and whatnot. Still love playing and recording at home, but getting out there and jamming, not so much anymore. Just one, there's no time. No time at all. Speaking of which, did anybody see my Instagram post or my Facebook post about me winning funniest costume at the Halloween party I was at yesterday? So I went as Rick Allen from Def Leppard. So I wore a Def Leppard shirt, and what I did was I tucked my arm down like this, and I walked around with a drumstick. So this was me for Halloween. I was Rick Allen from Def Leppard. Like I said, just walking around, drumstick with the missing arm. And I put the pictures up on Instagram and on Facebook. Yeah, I know, Rams. I saw that you saw it. Yep. Wyvern Kodiak, you have a great night. And yeah, no, I have to go to the office tomorrow too, so I get it. But thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Appreciate that you hang out. What is 9 arms and sucks? Def Leppard. I remember that joke. But yeah, that was my costume yesterday. Genius. Thank you. I actually won the most original costume and funniest costume. I should have won best costume, But by that point, they were like, no, you can't win another one. So we have to give it to somebody else, even though I had the most votes from the people at the party. But, and it was nice. They had prizes for everybody. So one of the prizes I got was actually, it was a ring that's a remote for your phone. So you can actually use it like, to use it like a Bluetooth remote for snapping pictures and stuff. It was kind of cool. It's little, just goes right on your finger. Looks like a ring, except it's got 5 little buttons on it. Easy to use. I mean, it synced it up and works really well. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, I agree with that. I'm a big Def Leppard fan, but I like old Def Leppard before, everything up to Pyromania. Hysteria is okay. I can live with it. But after that, oh, they jumped the shark big time, you know. And Van Hagar, yes, there's no comparison. I love Van Halen. And I mean, I love Van Halen. But Van Hagar, although I don't dislike Van Hagar, but it's a different sound. It's almost like it's a different band, you know. They became much more keyboard centric, you know. But at Roger Baker, he told me I'm the only one. That son of a gotcha. I missed part of that. But geek with an uppercut, that's terrible. See, this is how much of a Van Halen fan I am. If I can get it. I built this back in the day. This is my Frankenstrat replica that I built. One of my favorite guitars. Then I have the Budget Music Man by Sterling. So, really fun guitar. So I've got both eras of Van Halen covered as far as guitars go. But yeah. And for those of you who are new here, I know some of the longtime adventurers know this, but for those who are new, it's your first time here, I'm actually in my music studio. So this has now become my video studio, which is why everything has to be redone. I have to pull everything out of this room and relay everything out so that way it's more conducive to shooting videos as well as conducive to making music. So, oh, thanks, Aja. Oh, that's definitely true. I mean, Eddie was tearing it up on guitar when David Lee Roth was in the band, you know. But at the same time, like if you listen to the Balance album, Eddie shreds on that album, even though it's a Van Hagar album, you know. In fact, I think that's the best of the Van Hagar albums, even though it didn't have the hits. But as far as guitar work, I think that was Eddie's best Van Hagar album, you know. Nice. Nice. I know the song, but I've never tried to play it. Oh no, that's not true. The the Van Hagar albums aren't bad, but they're not the same. It's a different band. It really is. They're more of a pop rock band at that point, you know, as opposed to a real. I mean, when they started, they were just a hard rock, heavy metal band, you know, but they definitely changed. Now, what's funny is I prefer Sammy Hagar's solo music to what he did with Van Halen, you know, but oh geez, it's 11:54 already. Wow, this 2 hours is flying by quick. Now that's funny, Geek Machinist. Yeah, I'll tell you a little story about RoboCop. So saw the first RoboCop in the theaters. I thought it was great. When RoboCop 2 came out, I went to see it, and I got dragged there for some reason to a Sunday morning showing of RoboCop 2. Problem is, this was back in my partying days, and I probably only had about 3 hours of sleep and was half hungover. I made it about 15 minutes into the movie, fell asleep, and snored the whole time. And I heard, because I was out like a light, that I annoyed everybody around me by snoring so loud. And to which I blame my ex girlfriend, because she was the one who dragged me to the matinee showing of Robocop. But it is what it is. Yeah, Cicero, but shredding the blues is like winning a gold medal at the Special Olympics. At the end of the day, you're still either handicapped or retarded. And I'm sorry I put it that way, but that's just the way I feel. It's also like arguing with somebody on the internet, you know? Oh yeah, everybody knew that. Yeah, Buddy Guy could disagree, but he plays the blues. See? You know, I don't know. I just find the blues to be so boring. I mean, there are a few blues players that I love, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, which is why I have my Stevie Ray Vaughan tribute guitar. But they're few and far in between to me. You know, the Stevie Ray Vaughan. Love this guitar. And by the way, this is another one that I built. Now it's built from Fender parts, so it's not like I built it from scratch. But I put this one together. But I'm not a. I just find the blues to be boring, so boring. That's funny. I did not know that, Cicero. Oh wow, that's cool. Geek Machinist. Yeah, but a story is only good if it's not boring. You know. You know. Dun 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 dun. Okay, we get it. You're playing the blues. You know. Now, if you speed up the blues and you want to do it like George Thorogood, I'm all there. But some of the old blues is just snooze fest. You know. But like young blues player, um, what should we call it? Oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, the the big kid. He's really heavy. He's young. Um, Crispa. Why am I drawing a blank on his name now? But what is his name? I'm drawing a blank. No, not Kingfish. Kingfish. Young kid. He's like 16. No, he's probably like 18. He's been around for a few years now, but he's very overweight. But man, the kid can play. Holy crap. You know? See, Geek Machinist, here's the thing. BB King couldn't play chords. He hated playing chords and couldn't actually hold chords. So if you listen to his playing, it's all single note playing. But, you know. All right, we're just about at midnight. So it just turned midnight. All right, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you being here. Everybody who hung out tonight. At one point, we had over 50 people. That's really great for a late Sunday night. And thank you so much. Thanks for being patient with the giveaways being mailed out. Like I said, those will all go out this week. Everybody will get their tracking numbers. And then next week, we'll have some more giveaways. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are just, and gals are really fantastic. I always got to get out of the habit of saying just guys. It's guys and gals, you know. But all right, everybody. Much love. See you next week. See you guys in the chats this week. And have a great night. And as I always say, until we meet again, keep your blade sharp. Good night, everybody.